Is it bad if I still don't want to give up on Texas? Like, have I just like?
Yes.
Oh God, man, come on. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that's bad.
I need to check myself into some Texas rehab if I'm like still coming back to it.
Because I mean, I see what you're like. I understand what you're trying to cling to. There is just like, oh man, look how resilient they are, and oh look how like Sam Ehlinger can put you on his back, and oh that defense showed some improvement. But ultimately, those were two pretty average teams that were just letting each other back in the game, and I just don't think that was good football at the end of the day, which is crazy because those are. I mean, and look, I don't know. Do we want to get into that game right now?
Sure.
Do you want to open it up? Okay. All right. So here's the thing about this OU Texas situation is neither of those teams are top 25 teams, but Oklahoma has an excuse. They have a lot of excuses. Their best two defenders are not on the field, the Jalen Redmond and Ronnie Perkins. It's the first year of a new quarterback. Their top, three running backs are all out.
Because Seth McGowan ruled out before the game.
Yeah, so top if you're going back to Trey Sermon, who transferred out, they're down to like top four running backs because Kennedy Brooks opted out.
Right.
Ramondre Stevenson is suspended, and I forgot McGowan. So literally, you got your top four backs at this point from last year.
Pledger's a wide receiver, right? They were putting
no, Pledger's a running back. He's just been like he's not that guy, and so. I just think like and you got Jaden Hazelwood is hurt from the spring. The Trajan Bridges is hurt or suspended. Like there's all these guys that are out, and so we've been saying it. I've been saying it, like this is the year to get Oklahoma because this is like if Oklahoma is a conference champ this year, they're never not going to be. This is just the year. There's no excuses for Texas though. There's no excuses, and that's the thing that makes not only that they. Like, I mean, because the game was crazy and fun and all that stuff, but the way Texas played that game through the first, 55 minutes was penalties, sloppy, turnovers and inopportune moments. Just didn't look like didn't look well coached and didn't look like a high quality football team. And this is year 4. They need to be.
Yeah, that was a Wednesday night game between Toledo and Kent State. Except it had pedigree. That's what was the difference between that game and like the action that we all get excited about, where it's like,
yes.
Hey, it's not great football, but it's fun, it's silly, it's entertaining, and we're all going to have a good time. That's what that was. That was not two good teams playing an exciting game. That was two mediocre to slightly above average teams playing an exciting game. And
action with like a deep fried Oreo.
Yeah, exactly. Deep fried action in the heart of Texas. It was not a good game. Like I was watching it and I was amused by it. I would say it was amusing more than it was enjoyable. Cause like I was just watching it, like shaking my head, laughing at it more than I was thinking, wow, this is a great game. I hope this lasts another 3 hours.
Did you guys see? So I thought it was interesting, like, because there's so many points scored and all that stuff. And this is classic Texas OU Red River robbery, but this was yards per play in this game was 4.8 to 4.9.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like the defenses actually were played pretty good. Like I shouldn't have hit my over. Like I really shouldn't have. Like the defenses played good football, and there wasn't even so.
Is Texas's offensive line trash, or did Oklahoma have its best game of the season actually applying pressure on the quarterback?
I think Texas's offensive line is not great.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go as far as trash.
Yeah. I don't think OU played. I think OU played. You got to give them some credit, but I don't think Texas' offensive line's great, and they can't run the ball, and they can't. I mean, so there's just nothing. There's just not a lot to be excited about with this Texas team, and at this point in the Tom Herman tenure, I think that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the stakes and because of the teams that were involved and because of the drama of the sort of struggle and the need for both of those teams to win, it felt like everybody was all dialed into the game. It felt like everybody was along for the ride. And if they weren't during the game, like, especially when Tom, you were making a comment about how you're like, yo, I'm going to take this off the iPad. This is bad. I don't even want to watch it. But by the time we got into like the middle of the fourth quarter and on, it sort of felt like everybody had sort of jumped in and we were all along for the ride. And then all the twists and turns that happened sort of put me in this place where just totally lost in the sauce of the immediate aftermath of it, especially after both teams missed field goals in overtime. I mean, that was awesome, right? I mean, it was like, I
don't know if awesome is the word I would use to describe
awesome
it.
is the word.
Yeah, because it's like we don't require perfection from college football.
Yeah.
You talk about Maction being something that, we all get drawn to for quirkiness, but if you're trying to view the whole college football landscape with who's competing for the national championship, then you're going to miss out on a lot of just wild. You're going to miss out on Navy Tulane. You're going to miss out on some games like this. And especially with the desperation involved and Tom Herman, Lincoln Riley, these two like proud programs, it only added to the stakes and the drama and just sort of the reach of the number of people that were interested or at least invested in the outcome. And so immediate aftermath, lost in the sauce. My little jot on my notepad, I was like, this Red River rivalry was like another mark for the national championship is overrated, because that's a good college football experience. It was not a good college football game, and good college football was played very rarely within the contest. But that was something that was a shared experience where everybody was like, "Ooh, I need a cigarette." That was fun.
I feel like that would be a great slogan for the Big 12 now. The national championship's overrated.
It has been, hasn't it been?
Yeah.
For like, I don't know what,
we're not even trying
2005,
to win.
15 years. Yeah. For the last 15 years, the Big 12 national championships are overrated. Come for the fun. We'll give you a to-go box.